Hey everyone, welcome to the horror show. I'm Cecil Laird.
Fuego here.
I'm Eric Harrison from the Deaf Twitch.
And we are here to review The Spirit of Haddonfield. That's right, you guys. The director, Renee Rivas, was nice enough to send us an early screener of the movie. So we are up there with a few other people that got to see it early and do a review. So that's what we're here to do, you guys. It is about a 19-minute short film set not directly, affiliated with the Halloween franchise, as it says a couple times in the movie, but it is a Halloween fan film. It does involve Michael Myers. You can watch the trailer for it right now. The actual film is going to be released next month in October. So yeah, we got to see it a little bit early, and we're here to talk about it. So we'll do our review. We can't spoil a few things, of course. There are a couple of surprises, but we wouldn't want to spoil this stuff for you anyway, for the most part. So we'll just give you what we can, and that includes our overall thoughts and opinions, which mine was, I think this was an exceedingly well-made short film. I don't think the story was as satisfying for me as I was hoping it would be, but there's kind of a reason for that. Apparently this might not be the last of these sort of fan films. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a very well-made fan film, and I'm excited to see what other people think about it. So, Eric, why don't you let us know what you thought of it?
Oh man, on a technical level, there's a lot of skill and talent that was put into place into this. It unfortunately serves a story that's a little bit meh. But man, the skill behind the directing of everything, the pacing, the shots, the cinematography, it looks beautiful pretty much all the way through. Interesting choices. There's definitely a talent behind the camera, and I would be interested to see what this person can do without needing to restrict themselves to a fan-made installment like this.
I believe he might be working on something like that right now. I hope so. Right in the writing stages. Fuego, you.
Nice, yeah. I would definitely hope so too, because of the fact that, we heard some behind-the-scenes stuff about the amount of tools and resources that were at the disposal to put this together, and Dizam doesn't look so far beyond what I was initially expecting, from the lighting, to the set design and everything. Filming it in Flagstaff, Arizona, I thought was really cool, and just for the sheer fact that it doubles so well. Let's keep in mind that the original Halloween was filmed in California. It's supposed to be Illinois, and just the dusty and Halloween-y streets and stuff right around the turn of autumn and everything. Really, really cool looking. I actually have to say that for the most part, I did like this girl who is our lead, who Hannah something, I'm forgetting her name, but in introduction wise, this is presumably the first thing that she's done since they said introducing and everything. So I thought she was good. There's some interesting ties within series mythology that we can't divulge, which I thought was cool too. But yeah, visually striking. I honestly wanted more, and they leave you wanting more without spelling too much out. So, yeah, I did enjoy it, especially from a visual, approach. And I want Renee to do more stuff, original stuff.
So the story basically is there's a girl in Haddonfield that is on the way home, and she is being stalked in a very familiar way by a very familiar shape. And it's actually pretty funny because the shape is actually played by Vince DiSanti, who did the Never Hike Alone Friday the 13th fan film.
I thought he
They kept it in the family.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. And
some help from
and he did a good job. Yeah. Sean Richards has been on the channel. I think was a producer on this as well. Yeah. But again, well, we'll get to it when we get to the cinematography and stuff. But yeah, the story overall, I thought it worked. The short film, I saw the running time was 19 minutes, and that's probably about 16 or 17 before the credits, but it went fast.
It did really
feel like it.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like and a lot of time was spent on an extensive intro of all these credits and doing it in a way that was reminiscent of the tone and feel of the original movies. But for such a short movie, maybe
it was too heavy with that.
Because I was so getting in the mood to watch almost a feature length, and I knew it was going to be a short, but still, the extensiveness of it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready to watch this movie, and it went by so fast. I was like, oh my god, it's over, it's over.
And on the heels of the Ghostface fan film that we watched, which was a little bit lackluster in our eyes, this one just came out strong. And like you said, like I actually wrote down in the notes I was taking during the thing that there was a few too many of those shots where it's setting up the atmosphere. Like it took a little bit too long to set up the atmosphere. A few too many single shots of the houses, a few too many dolly shots of people doing stuff. While it did set up the atmosphere, it did take a little bit long and almost overset it up, you know, like it didn't need it.
Good.
All of it.
It was always a good frame.
But it wasn't. They weren't. All the frames weren't necessary.
But it wasn't necessary, precisely.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's not to. It's still very beautiful and it is still very tone setting. But it does make you feel like, oh, we're in for a long haul here. I'm ready to jump into the meat and bones of this. And then it's done about 10 minutes later
it's
after
over
that.
Before you know
truly,
it. Right.
truly. And honestly, there was a massive tonal shift, I thought, halfway through the film, which is, you know, obviously intentional and whatnot, but still good.
Yeah, it went from 0 to 60, so to speak.
It did. Oh, it totally did. And after having rewatched the original Halloween just recently for that review that we did, all of those, like, you know, slow, like, just, you know, kind of pulling back shots, you know, on the dolly or whatever it is, you know, it did feel like it had that same sense of, you know, tone and sensibility and, you know, stuff like that. Although, you know, the constraints of a short film are where I really feel like, unfortunately, this saw its drawbacks in some ways. Yeah.
So I will say there were a few interesting moments. We can't spoil some, but the first time that there's a confrontation between Michael and our lead, it was really kind of surprising, actually. And I was really enamored with the route he took with this, because we've seen so many people being silently stalked and not doing anything about it. Essentially what we got was a moment like a moment in part one with her friend Annie, except it plays out a little bit differently, because in the first one with Annie, something similar happens. Right, exactly. So I really liked how he played that scene out. And then again, I really liked how Vince did the shape. I thought he did a really good job in his portrayal of him. He was ominous. He had the pop collar, and it looked like he had the Halloween 2 mask from the Spirit store.
Yeah.
Not this, and I'm not talking shit on it. I just bought it today myself. Actually, I'm saying it's one of my favorite versions of a mask you can get. It's probably not the Tots, the Trick or Treat Studios mask. It's probably a more enhanced one than that. But I liked it. I thought it looked good. It was a little pearly white for me. But I dug it, and I dug Vince as Michael Myers, and like you said, we kind of jumped into acting a little early. I thought the lead was a good,
was good
starter performance. So Eric, why don't you jump in?
But
yeah,
as
story
far as acting goes, like I don't, especially when it comes to fan films, I don't want to give anybody like grief, because I would be so much worse, you know. So I look at it from that way, because I can't act. So, but you know, there was times where it took me out a little bit. Could have been a little bit more smooth, but it's everything else, like the way that he decided to frame things. You know, I mentioned while we were watching it, I hope I don't spoil anything here, but like the intro was an interesting choice to bring them out when they did. And then when they got into a more traditional setting of stalking around a house, so to speak, the framing, everything was really so Carpenter-esque. And shooting in darkness, but still being able to see what's going on. Yeah, I literally sat in the middle of it. I was like, that's a really cool shot. Because it is cool. Like, this guy clearly knows how to shoot to imitate, like, a really great movie. And it's kind of a shame that it was so limited to such what wound up feeling like a short film. And just, like, I wanted more. More.
For now, that's what it seems like we're limited to. We'll see what happens going forward. So we talked about the acting. We talked about the story. Let's talk about the effects. There's a little bit of gore. It's nothing that's not on par with the original. It doesn't go overboard. It's not like Rob Zombie gore. It's definitely on par with the original. But it was still fun to see where we got it. And
it's an approach that makes sense for me. No, totally.
I felt it was pretty minimal.
It was. I mean, like
Well,
I said,
I mean, watch the
so
original
wasn't
film.
in the
I
original.
mean,
No.
Nothing in the original
I
film.
get that totally, and it's probably a very intentional choice by the director, I would imagine.
But I will say, I think the sound design and the score. We don't want to mention too much about the score outside of the fact that it works very well with the movie. Definitely, it was an enhancer to it. But the sound design, I thought the sound design was really cool. And so I appreciated what he did there, building the world and things like that with the kids running by when you're focusing on other things. And again, I want to circle back to the cinematography a little bit, which we've all been hailing through the whole thing.
It was one of the best things.
The intro,
so pro,
Michael's intro was done so cool. Well, I mean, there was obviously there's an homage shot or two in it. I don't want to say exactly how many or where or when or why, but there is one sort of towards the beginning that was an homage shot, but then when they do something else that actually really brings him into the movie, I was like, oh damn, all right, cool. Like I really dug how he did it. I thought it was a really cool introduction for Michael for the short film.
Yeah, I thought some of the Billy Corgan approved pumpkin smashing, which we saw, was dope. I mean, it just, not to knock that Scream short that we watched recently, that had the appearance of being more in the amateurish side of things. This looked pro. It looked legit pro as far as everything from color correction to lighting. It looked like a pro film, and we've seen some very low budget fan films, and so this one looked the part, and that's why we keep circling back to the fact that we wish there could have been more to, I guess, like stab into or like chew on or whatever. So
Eric, your thoughts on the sound design?
Sound design. Well, I mean, everything fit with what they were doing, and it brings you into what the movie ultimately is titled, "The Spirit of Haddonfield," right? It definitely brings the spirit of Halloween to the short. It's just, it leaves you wanting so much more, and not in a bad way.
No, that's true. That's a fair assessment.
And there's that fun little ringtone callback too.
Right.
Yeah, there is a fun ringtone callback. As soon as the ringtone played, I was like, all right, cool, I like it.
We're about to watch it.
Yeah, so guys, this was a well-done fan film. It's definitely going to be well worth your time when it's available in October. I don't know the exact date offhand, but follow the Spirit of Haddonfield on Facebook. And make sure you do follow along with the film and watch it. Let us know. Come back here and let us know what you thought of it once you watch it. We want to know your guys' opinion, because now we know what we think. We want to know what others think, and now we have to wait for it. But maybe I'll message Lee over at Drum Dums and we'll have a little private powwow about it or something like that, since he's already seen it.
He probably totally did it.
He probably did.
I
can go watch his review. I didn't want to
watch
watch it because I didn't want to be tainted at all. So, why don't you guys let us know in the comments down below? Are you excited about the Spirit of Haddonfield? Since it is, perfect timing considering the new Halloween movie. It could be a nice little way to tide you over until you watch the new one. So, let us know in the comments down below. I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias, Fuego.
I'm Eric Harrison, man from the Death Twitch.
And remember, guys, stay scared!